Scotty Beam.
Yes.
How did this conversation come up? Was this you and Rosenberg or was this you and Shawnee? What was this? How can you cheat on a pregnant wife?
I think that was Rosenberg and Shawnee.
It was based on a story I heard. And I said, man, it's crazy. People cheating on their pregnant wife. And Shawnee, you know, he's a philosopher of all things.
And he's got 9 children. Mm-hmm. So he's been around a lot of pregnant women.
And he's like, that's when it happens.
That's usually when it happens.
And I said, wow, why is that when a guy would cheat? And Shawnee was explaining why to me. And I said, that's crazy.
Well, Shawnee, before you go into your how you see it, and you've experienced it, 800-223-9797. When you were pregnant, were you cheated on? And why do you think it happened? We want to hear from you right now. Or maybe you cheated on your pregnant lady.
Right.
And you want to articulate what happened.
And why you're a pug.
Because you would think that's the most sacred time of the relationship, that you should be as together and pure as possible and sacrifice whatever is happening.
Yes, that's what you think.
If you haven't lived through it, that's what you think. That's what you think. And it's easy to talk from the sidelines. But when that 9 months is 18, and 24, and 28 months I mean,
is it
make
hard?
Mistakes.
Is it
It's
hard?
definitely hard, but
Is
it's
it
hard for both parties.
Yeah, it is. You're saying it's also hard for the woman who's carrying the baby around
Absolutely.
and
Right.
vomiting, carrying your child.
Right. Breastfeeding.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying, if you haven't been through it, I understand how people screw that up, but that's because they don't have a backbone. They're not focused. But let's hear from them.
Right.
Okay, good. That was sound.
It does take focus.
Why are you
Yes,
looking at
it
me,
does.
Scotty?
Because you were the one that
I didn't
was
say
like,
that I
listen.
do it or
no,
did it,
No,
but I
but you were.
understand.
You sound like you were for it.
No,
I mean,
that's never. I don't even think the people who do it are for it.
I'm just saying that's when
But
it
you
happens.
understand why it happens.
I understand why people cheat all the time, and if you've ever been through living with a woman
Who's carrying your
even
child.
or even being a woman that hates the man for whatever reason. Women go through a lot when they're pregnant. You could be the man sitting in the crib and nobody likes you and you haven't done anything.
You're just sitting
and
there.
nobody likes you.
Right.
You just sit there. You just came in the house. You're paying the bills and nobody
right.
still likes you.
Because I think a part of the initial conversation was a friend of ours is about to have a second child and already started to cheat.
Right.
Whoa.
The anticipation of what he had already been through with the first one has driven him to see some outside,
So let's take the calls, man, because this is gonna be a good one. Talking about getting cheated on while pregnant. The question was, how could you cheat on a pregnant woman? This is an amazing moment in your life, and we wanted to hear from women who got cheated on.
Right. So I'm currently 6 months pregnant, and I got cheated on by my husband.
Whoa.
I actually caught him through a nanny cam in our house.
In the house? He did it in the house?
Yeah, he was in the house. Yeah.
Wow.
And I actually came from work because I observed the nanny cam from home. I have another child. And, yeah, I caught the woman riding on top of him.
And what did you do?
Wow.
I mean, I had a lot of time to process the information while I was going there. So if I was going to be belligerent, it didn't happen.
Good for you.
It didn't happen. And, I'm pregnant, but it happened, a couple of months ago. So now I'm just, riding through it, by myself.
Do you still want to work it out?
No, it's not going to work out, ever. That's the biggest betrayal. I'm pregnant, and you're having sex with, somebody else in my bed. So
That's
crazy. Now, I got a question for you, and I'm curious. A question for you. If you had found out that he had done something like out of town, would it have been as bad as it was that you found him in your bed?
Yeah, it would have been the same thing because I felt betrayed.
Let me ask, Jen, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Prior to, something makes me believe this dude wanted to get caught. Like, something makes me believe he did something so outlandish so that you would want him gone. Like, he didn't have the heart to tell you he didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. For him to, A, not know that there was a nanny cam, is crazy town.
The nanny cam is very inconspicuous. It's an alarm clock. You could hardly tell it's a nanny
But
cam.
shouldn't he know that?
He didn't know that you had a nanny cam?
No, he didn't know.
Why wouldn't he know that you had a nanny cam? Why did you feel the need to put up a nanny cam while him knowing?
What is it that they call it? We have intuition, so I kind of felt there was something going on. So I bought a nanny cam and I installed it in the bedroom just to see, like.
So, and that's my question. That's kind of where I'm going. My initial question was, did he want out of the relationship before this moment?
No, it was for me, and as according to him, it was a perfect relationship. We're in good terms. We're like best friends. He tells me everything. I tell him everything. So I didn't know. There was points, when I got pregnant, very emotional, hormones on high. I asked him, I said, "Are you happy?" He said, "Yeah, I'm happy. Why are you asking these questions?" He's like, "I'm good." So
I'm gonna tell you right now, dudes be lying.
Yeah,
especially I'll be honest. And me and my lady have talked after she's been, after the baby's come, and we've had a chance to talk after the fact. Ladies, during the time a woman is pregnant, I'll tell you, me straight up, there are certain conversations that just aren't worth having until we can get to a place where we're both rationally thinking, right? During the pregnancy, sometimes the woman's not rational because you're not sleeping good. No. Things is intense. Right. Things is stressful. Yeah. And it's not the time to have a conversation about how you're really feeling because the relationship is not in the same place where it was.
And anything that you're feeling is going to be overshadowed by, well, what do you think I'm feeling? What do you think I'm
And I'm
going
going to tell you from experience, there was times I had to be like, babe, let's not talk about this right now. We will get through this together. We'll get through this time together. And after we get through this time together, let's reconvene and have this conversation.
Well, he doesn't sound like the kind of guy who's just going to have a good, rational conversation. He sounds like a D-bag.
Jason from Brooklyn, you cheated on your wife.
Yes, I did.
You cheated on your wife when she was pregnant. Why?
You said that too proudly.
Yeah. Now, I'm not proud of this whatsoever. Yes, I'm a scumbag for doing it. Unfortunately, it's several different factors that led to it. So, one of the things was basically being stressed out, being pointed at. I mean, it got to a point where her family was saying, I did this to her, like it's some sort of a disease.
When you got her pregnant.
Yeah. And, around that time, it's very emotional for both sides.
Yeah.
So, imagine being stressed out, you're working, this woman has so many mixed emotions, feelings, pain, and all sorts of things that are going on with her body. And, you don't have your friends to talk to at that point because now there's a wall between her and you because she's having this whole thing in her. And, there's constant stress, especially if this is your first child.
Right.
So, at that point in time, unfortunately,
you folded. Jason just said you folded, bro. You folded. You folded. Because that's what it is. What it absolutely is, when you're feeling the way what Jason's talking about, and to whatever varying degrees men feel like this, that is the time you can't fold up, bro. That is the time where you have to lock in, take your ass home, and sit on that couch and stare at the TV, even though in the other room is a fight waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. You sit your ass on that couch and you take this beating just like she's taking a beating being pregnant. That is the game.
And what happened? What ended up happening? Did she leave you or not?
No, we're still together. She never found out.
That's not cool.
But you know what?
Happy ending.
That's not cool at
Never
all.
again shall it happen. And I learned my lesson.